Well, welcome again. This is the fifth section of the topic monopoly and imperfect competition. And now we will start to look to the monopolistic competition part. Uh, well, I have already described the basics of the monopolistic competition, which is basically a market with many producers, but each producer is selling a different type of product. So these products are serving to the similar needs. So in a way, they are like substitutes, basically. Uh, and However, another way, each producer is also acting like a monopoly, producing a different, a unique product. So we have a partial case of uh, well, is once on the one hand, the market is somewhat closer to the perfectly competitive market, but on the other hand, it's also close to the monopoly market. So what will be outcome of such a market? And this market actually, in my opinion, is a much more realistic market compared with the perfectly competitive market. And I think this could be actually at the center of the macroeconomics, although still some reservations on the conditions, other conditions might remain. Still, of course, standardized product is a very vague thing in current capitalist economy, where basically product differentiation and different types of product and all different tastes are well kind of the brand of the system. Um, so, but let's see what will happen in case of monopolistic competition. I think that's why this serves much better to them to describe maybe how a relatively good case in the capitalist economy, good markets in a capitalist economy can operate. So we still have all other conditions holding. No producer with market power, perfect information, all assumptions with the producers and consumers hold. Still, we have the same type of company. Our company style is not changed. We don't have specifically selfish monopolists and very altruistic, humane, perfect competitive companies. No, they are exactly the same companies. Um, so, a single producer in monopolistic competition has a very similar case like this, basically. This could be, for example, an average producer in the monopolistic competition case. Uh, and basically, this company, since its demand curve is above the average cost curve, is making profit. We could also have a monopolistic a company with a monopolistic competition that is actually making loss also. Since all companies are selling different types of products, we cannot talk on the representative company anymore. Some companies are making profits, some companies are making loss, but on average, at least the companies in the monopolistic competition should be making profit. So this could be an average company making an average amount of profit, maybe in our monopolistic competitive market. What will happen in the long run? Well, before actually going to what will happen in the long run, let's talk about how our company in the monopolistic competition compete with other companies. It certainly doesn't take into account the other producers. It takes price signals from the market, but the company can do one thing. It can basically differentiate its product, make it happen, its product different from make for the people its product different from other products. If it can differentiate this product, in that case, basically, the buyers they will uh, the other products for those buyers won't basically be able to replace that product. So in that case, our demand curve will be more and more steep. Why? Because price differences won't make the buyers shift to other products because they just want that product. They don't want anything else. They like that product very much. The case might be Coca-Cola and Pepsi. For me, actually, both are the same. For me, actually, most wines are the same. Most teas are the same. But in all cases, including Coca-Cola and Pepsi, actually, many people really drink only Coca-Cola. For them, Pepsi is not a substitute of Coca-Cola. They never drink Pepsi. Or they drink a particular type of wine and no other wine. Or they drink particular type of tea and no other tea. So that's one thing, making your product unsubstitutable. And then you might also make people believe that they need your product, which is also done by the Coca-Cola. We have discussed a little bit on that. And in the consumer theory part. So product differentiation is the primary methods the producers compete with each other in a monopolistically competitive market. And well, actually, one of my colleagues in Bosporus University had asked to his students why barbers are talking much, and he taught them to explain it in a way we have seen, connected to something we have seen in the economics course. Well, the answer is the barbers are talking too much to differentiate their product, so they try to make that their product more enjoyable. I mean, the time you spend in that barbershop is more enjoyable because you like the talk of the way that your barber is talking. In that case, I mean, you might go to that barber, not to another barber, which was actually the case when I was a child. My father, for example, had one particular barber he always liked too much. Not that much that way. In my case, actually, I go to any barber I found whenever I need a haircut. But anyway, so well, you see a lot in the advertisements how the products are different from each other. How one car is superior, how one detergent is superior, how no toothpaste can basically solve the problems of my tooth, but one toothpaste miraculously solves all the problems. Basically, many advertisements are on the product differentiation. I mean, how one particular product is so much different from the similar looking products. Anyway, so in the short run, for the monopolistically competitive market, MC is equal to MR. This determines the optimum profit maximizing production point for the producers. And at that point, producers on average may make profit or loss. Both are possible. They might be also breaking even. But what will happen in this sense, it's actually the outcome is similar to the monopoly case. Actually, there can be multiple types of outcomes. But when we come to the long run, so basically, this can be an average company in the short run for the monopolistically competitive market. This can be an average outcome, or this can be also be an average outcome. The average, let's say, case for a company in the monopolistic competition. I mean, the case for an average company, not the average case of a company. It can also be actually average case because the demand can be shifting up and down throughout the year also. So this can be an average case also. What will be the long run outcome? In the long run outcome, just like the perfectly competitive market, we have basically profit rate equal to 0. Remember again, we don't have opportunity cost. If we had opportunity cost, that opportunity cost should be added to the costs. So actual nominal profit rate measured in terms of money should be not anymore 0 but positive in that case. But if we don't have opportunity cost, then this would be the case for an average company in the long run. Again, some companies in the long run might have profit, some companies have loss, but on average, they should be breaking even, not making any profit. Why is this the case? Why is an average company not making any profit in the long run in the monopolistic competitive market? Basically, it's because if an average company in a monopolistically competitive market, for example, let's say the restaurant business, or let's say, I don't know, hotel business, is making a lot of profits. Remember, we have still free entry and free exit. This will send a signal to all the producers. Oh my God, this business is so much profitable. So everyone with potential capital they need to have to build a business in that market will rush to that market. But if they rush, at least, well, they are not exactly substitutes, perfect substitutes, perfectly matching the product produced by companies in that sector. But as the number of hotels, for example, increase in TRNC, let's say, the demand for what other existing hotels is expected to go down. They might try to differentiate their hotels and say, well, staying at a Merit Hotel or I don't know, Dom Hotel is a uncomparable experience, but still some people might go to the other hotels, so it will decrease the demand. So as long as, however, this sector is actually providing higher than average economic profits, the companies will basically, some profits actually, people will rush to this sector. If, as I said, on average, this sector is giving to the investors positive profits. The investors will stop investing in this sector only when basically they are just breaking even. So that's why the market will return to the point where the company is just breaking even, which is the case where the demand curve and the average total cost curve are tangent to each other. Same thing is also true for the loss. In this case, of course, the hotels, or in our case, hotel market, they will basically leave the market, and as they leave, demand for existing hotels will increase until the point when the demand is tangent to the average cost curve. So this is the case, and the fact that this is the case means that basically our average company in a monopolistically competitive market doesn't make any profit. Just like in the perfectly competitive case, now if the differentiation of the product, if the products, if the level of difference between the hotels in the Northern Cyprus, for example, remain different, it is not anymore possible to increase the well, basically increase the quantity of the services, hotel services provided, or decreasing the costs, basically. As long as we remain to produce same amount of quantity and same amount of actually same amount of quantity, well, basically, as long as our demand remains the same, basically this is the only point where our average hotel is able to cover its all costs. And if the state takes over the business, for example, or if any non-profit maximizing company, a company like a foundation, for example, or a club takes it over, still, in order to cover its costs, it needs to produce at this point. I mean, the sector over, which means it takes all the hotels that are producing, and it maintains the level of differentiation of the products in the hotel market. So what are the implications of this result, and how can we compare these results to the perfectly competitive market? We will cover that in the next part of the next section of this week's recordings. So see you then.